Hello, trading has closed on October 28th, 2021. We always start with our disclaimer. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, Friday, October 29th. I think that's the anniversary of the crash in 1929. We'll come back to that in just a minute. My calls can be completely wrong. Any trade you make should be at your own risk. We said we painted a very negative picture yesterday. Question is, did today's rally negate it? And the answer is no. Here's what we said. Normally bullish pattern, negative instead. Gapping and promptly overtaking the high of day vitiates negativity. Otherwise, we see lower prices. But as far as today was concerned, we could often gap up. According to the rules, gapping sharply higher kills negativity as far as today is concerned, but it doesn't kill the whole pattern. We gapped up and overtook yesterday's highs, and the question is, was it prompt? Well, I never really define prompt, but usually I want to rally and then overtake these highs without any pullbacks. Now, I tolerate consolidations, and this one might be a bit too much for me to take because this low overlapped that high. So maybe it was more of a pullback in the consolidation. When that happens, even if we break this later, I don't trust it because a pattern with a low, the high, and a negative close is a pretty reliable negative pattern, even if the negativity doesn't come instantly. And if I'm right about this, all this is going to be reversed tomorrow morning by gapping under this low and preferably under this one. Doesn't mean I will be right. Sometimes I'm wrong. During the day, MJT said this drop was false and prices would retrace. It now says this rally is false. Prices should retrace. Gives a target of 45.8418. And unless we gap up smartly, that's my call for tomorrow. This is a wall down. Tends to be followed by gapping up. This creates an unstable pattern, which tends to fill at some time, usually pretty quickly. Usually by the end of the next day or Monday at the latest, you're going to fill the gap, undercut the low, and find support there. We now have the opposite pattern. We have a wall up into the close. Often this is followed by gapping down, and then later on, the gap fills and you overtake that high. So even if we do gap down, I don't think any rally's over. But as far as tomorrow is concerned, these don't have to fill promptly. And if they don't fill promptly, they don't have to fill anytime soon. There are a number of things not to like about this pattern. We had 5 waves down. That could be wave 1. Wave 2, if that's what this is, often will correct almost all of wave 1. That's what's happened so far. And if that is the right count, you would expect to see a wave 3 down. Now this could be just A of 2. You don't know. But since it's already corrected almost all of 1, I wouldn't expect it to challenge this level again unless it intended to break through. When you challenge a level a number of times, normally you're going to break through it. Now here's the target, the MJT target for tomorrow, 45.8418. We've challenged it a number of times but haven't broken through. If we challenge it again, this support's been used up. I wouldn't expect to see the support it normally gives. This level, 45, 51, 26, we came close and didn't break it. If we come close again, that support's been used up. So if we do move down, I wouldn't look for the normal support at these levels. What's even worse is tomorrow's pattern has the early high. It's normally a positive day with a final hour high. But if it fails in the straight line down. And particularly on a Friday, if we get a straight line move down, and futures are already down, it's going to be hard to reverse the pattern. And the normal support won't be there. And what's even worse is we have a positive pattern. Low of day in the first bar, high of day in the last bar. So signals are mixed, and mixed signals more often than not is going to lead to a gap and a prompt move outside the day's range. So as long as this holds, and that we don't know, all these things are pointing towards a sharp wave 3 move down without the normal support holding. If we open down here, I don't know what's going to stop it. Doesn't mean we will, but that's what I'm looking for. Friday's pattern has the early high. We could gap down. Typically, it's a rally day with a final hour high. Failure is a straight line drop. Signals are mixed. It's positive. The low of day was the first bar and the high of day was the last. But so we use these rules. Gap and prompt move outside the range. Negative, we have a wall on the close and a lower MeJT target. So hole in the wall gap. The pattern should fill at some time, and often it'll fill by tomorrow or Monday's open at the latest. Now, I don't know if this wave count's right, but it's acting right so far, and if it is, we have all the elements we need for a wave 3 drop. We came close to targets without printing them, which should take away the support they normally offer. The amount of money in RIDEX Bear Index funds took a big drop this week. Usually, it'll inch up or inch down a little bit. This week, the amount of money in these Bear Index funds took a big drop. There's now even less money in the funds than there was at the February peak from last year. Now, this isn't a pinpoint timing indicators. Sentiment indicators never are. But it shows a big capitulation this week by the amateurs looking for a drop. And normally when they throw in the towel, that's when they should be clutching it as tightly as possible. Now, as always, gapping up smartly kills the call before the open. The new all-time high kills the wave count too, and I've been wrong before. But all we need is to hold on to this big drop we have in futures. And if we open down below here, we could be in for a tank. So look to see how we open tomorrow. If I'm wrong about this, there's your stop over that high. But we have all the elements we need for a wave 3 down in a straight line. And we'll have to see whether or not that happens. Remember, if we gap sharply higher, the call's killed. Otherwise, that's today's call.